On his first trip to China since taking office, the US president is aiming to convince Beijing that Washington is a partner, not a rival. And he is seeking to enlist China's help in tackling urgent global problems, while weighing how and if he should raise more sensitive issues. Russell Lee Moses is a professor in Beijing and an analyst of Chinese political affairs. He sees a distinct change in the relationship between the two sides.
I think this is the start of a conversation, a more structured conversation in which Beijing and China as a whole is really very much at the center of U.S. foreign policy planning, where before previous governments in the United States might not have taken China as seriously as they should have. This is going to be a change. Obama is here in many ways to see and to understand that China will have to be the center of the action for some time to come.
During a town hall-style meeting with students in Shanghai before arriving in Beijing, Obama did touch on censorship, saying a free flow of information leads to a stronger society and more accountable governments. But even then, he sought to find a political balance, telling the audience that very few global challenges can be solved unless the US and China are in agreement.
Each side expects different things of the other. The Chinese side wants to see the United States acknowledge that it's a great power. The U.S. side really wants China to understand that it needs to take its place among the great powers, but only if it plays by the rules that the great powers have always played with.
A Chinese magazine, Globe, reported last week that nearly 80% of Chinese surveyed believe the U.S. does not want to see their country rise. But while he did not shy away from calling for what he termed universal rights, Obama has also put much effort into winning trust from a government and a public that is often wary of U.S. intentions. During his trip to China, Obama has repeated a comment made at the start of his Asia tour, that the U.S. does not seek to contain China, and stressed that the rise of a strong, prosperous China can be a positive development for the global community. Obama has been criticized by some at home for appearing to backpedal on sensitive issues, particularly human rights. They cite his decision not to meet the Dalai Lama prior to his visit as evidence of a soft approach to Beijing. Professor Moses disagrees.
I don't think that there's any reason to say that he's soft or hard at this point. We're still in the early stages here. Obama is still feeling his way. The Chinese side are still feeling their way with Obama himself. So I think that we're not at a point where we can say that he is soft, hard, open, closed. We're still at very early steps, and I think that is as it should be.
And in terms of broader cooperation on global geopolitical issues,
this is an administration that approaches Beijing without a lot of fear, without a lot of rancor, and with, I think, the expectation that it's going to be a G2 sort of world in the next few years.
So, as Presidents Hu Jintao and Barack Obama spend time together here in Beijing, approaches to the various issues on the table may differ. But what is not in any doubt is the crucial importance that these two leaders and their countries learn to deal with one another in a way that benefits not only the two parties involved, but also the entire world. Neva Wyman, BOA.